Hello and welcome to Ask the Crown. I'm Stephanie McGrane, and I am thrilled to have the beautiful Austen Williams joining me today. Austen is the newly crowned Mrs. America. Welcome, Austen.
Hi, I'm glad to be here.
So happy to have you. And I have to say congratulations on winning the Mrs. America title. Very impressive. One of the most prestigious Mrs. titles out there. And I have to tell you, you looked gorgeous on stage, so beautiful. What was the secret to your success? How did you capture that title?
I always tell people that I'm really good at being myself. So I was just being myself. I'm a real woman. I have 2 small children. I don't really have time to do a lot of the luxuries that maybe some people have time to do because I'm busy chasing around a 16-month-old and a 3-and-a-half-year-old. They're crazy. So I just was myself. I tried to be as down to earth as possible, which I try to do on a day-to-day basis anyway, and I tried to do everything I could just to be who God made me to be. Yeah.
Well, you are gorgeous. I love that you're so real. You know, I love to see title holders, you know, being who they really are and not trying to be someone that they're not. And you are beautiful inside and out. But tell us, what was the Mrs. America experience like? Tell us about some of your highlights.
Oh, some of my highlights. I loved my roommate. This is my first time ever doing Mrs. Pageants. I've competed on the USA side and also competed in America as well on the state level. And, you know, sometimes girls are sweeter than others. Not all the time are girls so sweet. And I was so surprised to find out that Mrs. competitors, they're really amazing, beautiful, talented, intelligent, career-driven, family-oriented women. Most of the women I've encountered, if not all, have just been really, really sweet humans, people who I can be friends with for the rest of my life. My roommate at Mrs. America, Mrs. Virginia, Erin, what a rock star. I was like, thank you, Jesus. She was so amazing. And if you are friends with me on Facebook, you will see all kinds of videos of what Erin and I did in our spare time. We had a dance party where we were dancing on our beds. We recorded all kinds of videos of us pretending to be singers. That was fun. And she allowed me to be she who prays because I'm a woman of prayer. She'll be like, oh, I'm not feeling good. I'm like, let's pray about it. Let's pray about it right now. So we did a lot of that. And she just really allowed me to be myself and gave me an opportunity to be comfortable in our room. And so just hanging out with her was such a blessing, getting to know her. And obviously just getting to know the other women, so many different backgrounds, so many different stories, and it was just a blessing to be able to encounter them.
It sounds like a wonderful experience. And you know, the women you're around, you know, makes all the difference in the world too. And it sounds like they were fabulous women.
Yes, they're not all created equal.
Right, is that true?
Others. But these women were amazing, and I was astounded, and I felt so very fortunate to be with them. And even since I've won, I've gotten so many text messages and Facebook messages and emails of just them saying, we're so glad it was you, we love you, we support you, we hope you win Mrs. World. And that means the world to me because it could absolutely not be that way, but these women have been so supportive and kind, and I love them all.
That is wonderful. And you know, we have many viewers that Ask the Crown. They were asking for you. They wanted an interview with you, and they were curious to know because someday they aspire to become Mrs. America. And they were asking, what is it like? What was your interview like at Mrs. America?
Actually, I really enjoyed the interview. It was round robin, which is when you have a one-on-one interview. You go from table to table to table, and you have an opportunity to speak with the judges individually. So I really feel like you have an opportunity to really allow those judges to see who you are and be who you are. And the judges were just fantastic. It was a very conversational interview. It's my opinion that a lot of times people try and give the right answer, when really they should just give their opinions. There is no right or wrong answer as long as you are being true to who you are and you're being kind and compassionate and decent to people. And so I think as long as you are displaying that in your interview, you'll do just fine. And I was certainly afforded an opportunity to do the same thing.
Well, that is great advice to all of the women out there. And how do you feel that they can best prepare for the competition, just overall? What are your recommendations to them?
You know, I think just being conversational with people, even strangers, because you're not going to know your judges. So, you know, when you're out in the street, when you're talking to people, really talk to them. Take the time to get to know who people are. You know, it's better to be interested than interesting. So it's better to try and get to figure out who people are and engage them in that way. And I think the more you do that, the more comfortable you become actually speaking with people. Mrs. America is a pageant where you have to really win an interview because 50% of your score is interview. So it's important to really take the time to become conversational. Don't become like, because no one wants to see that. No one believes that every title holder wants world peace. That's not realistic. It's not true to where we are. And if you can get to a place where you're just really comfortable talking to people and being who you are, I think that that's when you can really excel in pageantry in general.
Well, not only are you a fabulous communicator and you speak so well, but you also have a very important platform that you promote. And I know we talked a little bit about it, but if you can tell our viewers some more about your platform and what you've been working on.
Sure. My platform is actually human trafficking awareness. A lot of people, in my opinion, especially in our country, we act as if it's a problem that's happening around the world and it's outrageous and it's offensive and we should do something about it, but it's their problem. It's not really our problem. And most people fail to realize that human trafficking is a reality that's happening here in our country right now. So I'm also a proponent of doing what you can and using your talents, your gifts, and abilities in order to promote your cause. I am a performer. I've grown up modeling and acting, singing and dancing. That's what I do. That's what my career has been in for the majority of my life. And so one of the ways that I've been able to promote human trafficking awareness is actually through a film called 8 Days. Just maybe 2 weeks before I left for Mrs. America, we wrapped filming and I had a role in the film. And the film is based on a true story that actually takes place here in Texas. It's about a girl who was kidnapped and put into human trafficking. She was missing for 8 days, but fortunately she was found. So the film is about her story and her experience in trafficking. And, you know, in addition to people failing to realize that it is a domestic problem, a problem here in America with our children being kidnapped and stolen and put into trafficking in these horrendous circumstances, being abused in ways we can't even fathom, I think we also tend to have this impression that it's something that happens to maybe poor people or less educated people and things like that. But the reality is that trafficking is something that is actually most prominent across the board. It doesn't matter what your background is. You can be white, you can be black, you can be Hispanic, you can be Asian. And honestly, the women or the girls who are most often trafficked are often white or Asian. So I just want to make sure that people are aware, especially because I have small children of my own. I have a little girl who is just beautiful now. I can only imagine what she's going to look like 15 years from now. And I think it's so important that we understand what is going on the home front. Right now, human trafficking is the #2 grossing, highest grossing crime in the world, second only to drugs. And they're projecting that within the next 5 years, it will be the #1 crime in the world. It will make more money than drugs. We don't even realize how big of a deal it is. And just over the course of the last few years, we've started talking more and more about it. But it's so important for us to put our foot down now and say, this has got to end, and we've got to do something about it. Because it's a problem, it's a reality, and it's something that certainly needs to change.
Absolutely. That is such a huge problem, and it's such an important topic, an important platform that you have, and that you're bringing awareness about, to the world about it.
Yeah.
And when will your film be released? When can we look for you on your film?
It's scheduled to be released in November. So hopefully that will stay right on track. The unique thing about 8 Days is that all of the proceeds from 8 Days will go directly to anti-trafficking organizations and to building safe houses. What that also means, though, is that all of the funding to go through production and post-production, all of those things, it's all money that's been raised and donated so that we could create this film using great talented actors and crew members and directors and things like this. So so much of what we're doing has to do with people and crowdfunding and making sure that we can get it out when it's scheduled to be out. So if you want more information about 8 Days, you can go to 8daysfilm.org, and you can also donate there. And there's actually a song on iTunes too. So you can go to the website and check all of that out. And if the Lord leads you and you are willing to donate, please do donate to the cause.
Absolutely. Well, that is wonderful. And I know you had mentioned you've done, so much modeling and acting throughout your life. Tell us about that. What are some of the things that you've done? I also read that you booked a national television commercial, which helped pay your way through college. Is that correct?
Yes, I started modeling and acting when I was 4. So we've had a pretty long career in the entertainment industry. I'll be 29 in just a couple of weeks. And I booked my first national commercial when I was 7. And I made more in that one day of filming than I did my first real job salary.
Wow.
So that's how it helps people. Yeah, it was a national Ford Taurus commercial. And I've done all kinds of stuff. I've had a really fruitful career. I've been really fortunate. I've done work for Abercrombie & Fitch. I've had a 15-page layout in Best Body magazine. I've been in Vibe magazine. I've been in Prevention magazine. I've done 15 fitness videos. I've been in several films and television and all kinds of things. I've had a really lucrative career. I know a lot of people want to get into the entertainment industry and they struggle to do it, and I feel really fortunate to have been given the opportunities that I have in order to excel in such a competitive place.
Oh my goodness, absolutely, yes. And that is fabulous. So many wonderful things. And now let me ask you about your title, Miss America. What do you plan to do and accomplish during your reign?
My number one goal really is to just promote human trafficking awareness. I'm a person, I'm a simple girl. I just want simple things, and my heart really breaks for victims of human trafficking. The reality of people having their children kidnapped and things like this, it really breaks my heart. Like, as a mother, I have changed since having children of my own, and it's heart-wrenching for me. Like, deep down in my soul, I can't handle it at all. So if I can really just bring awareness to human trafficking, I will feel like I've accomplished quite a bit. Beyond that, if I become Mrs. World, I'll continue to promote human trafficking awareness. But that really is my only goal here. My only goal here is to serve the community and to serve my family and obviously to serve my God. So if I can do that, I'll feel really accomplished.
Oh my goodness, absolutely, and you are already off to an amazing start with that. And I know that you are traveling to Bulgaria in May to compete for Mrs. World. Yes. So how do you plan to prepare for that?
Well, like I said earlier, I have 2 small children, so I don't really have time to go to a gym and work out. So I put my baby in my baby backpack and I do squats and lunges, and when I'm doing the dishes, I do squats and lunges. And really all of my workout routine has to do with entertaining children and cleaning my house.
I love that. That's so awesome.
That's what I will do in order to prepare for swimsuit competition, which is how this whole thing started. After I had my second baby, things moved around like you would not believe. It was astounding. But my clothes still fit. That was the problem. It wasn't enough motivation to go to the gym and work out because my clothes still fit, but I was squishy everywhere. I was like, what can I do in order to make myself get in shape again? swimsuit competition. Swimsuit competition will get you every time. I knew that.
That's right. That's right.
To be embarrassed in front of thousands and thousands of people. I would not do that. And so that's why I entered my state pageant, and I was feeling really accomplished when I won fitness. I was really proud of myself, doing my squats and lunges, wearing my baby. Felt like I did a great job.
Yeah, see, people have no excuse not to get into shape. You're multitasking. When you're doing the dishes, you're getting into shape. That's awesome.
You vacuum, you do a lunge. You pull back, you vacuum, you do a lunge, and then take 2 steps forward. Do it all over again. It works, I'm telling you. And canned goods make excellent weights.
I love it. What, such great advice for everyone. Yes, they could be doing this every day, all the time, getting into shape.
It's true.
Now, you also are a photographer, and you own Sugar Babe Photography. So do you specialize in any certain type of photography?
I do. I specialize in newborns, babies, family, children, and though I can do everything, my heart just jumps for joy when I'm able to photograph babies. I say I have magic baby juju because I can make any baby smile. Any baby. Children love me, and I'm able to capture those moments for families, and so they can have it. My goal when I first became a photographer was just to give people beautiful pictures of their children at an affordable price. A lot of photographers can be really, really expensive, but we are a very humble family. I just graduated from Southwestern Seminary in Fort Worth, and we didn't have a lot of money, but I wanted really beautiful pictures of my baby, and so it just became a conviction of mine. If I can take these beautiful pictures of these families and do it for an affordable price where they're not spending $1,000 right after they have a baby, then I feel like I'm really doing something that's worthwhile and lucrative for families, and it's something that they can have forever. And so that's what I aim to do. Now, because I grew up in the entertainment industry, I can do other things, but I really just enjoy doing newborn and babies.
Well, and I know your work is incredible because you took Mrs. Oklahoma's picture. Is that correct, for Mrs. America?
I did, and she won Mrs. Photogenic. So
Yay! Congratulations!
Mrs. America, I won Mrs. Photogenic. So in the background, I'm going, I'm so excited because I felt so accomplished. I mean, I don't take headshots very often, but when you do, and they win Mrs. Photogenic, you start feeling really cool and special.
Absolutely. Yeah, because that's competitive. So that is awesome. Well, where can our viewers find out more about Sugar Babe Photography? Do you have a website?
I do. It's www.sugarbabephotography.com. And it's not Sugar Baby, it's Sugar Babe with an E. So Sugar Babe Photography.
Well, we will definitely check that out. And for the viewers watching, is there any other way that they can follow you, perhaps on Twitter, or find you on Facebook, email you? How do you prefer people to get in contact with you?
You can follow me on Twitter at Austen Will. Remember, Austen is spelled with an E, not an I, so AUSTEN Will, because Austen will talk to you. That's on Twitter, and then on Facebook you can find me under Austen Williams.
Wonderful. Oh my goodness, Austen, thank you so much for joining me today. I just love you. You are beautiful inside and out. You are so real. We will definitely be watching as you compete for the title of Mrs. World in May.
Thank you so much.
And thanks to all of the viewers for tuning in. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Thanks so much. Thank you, Austen.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.